How much time did I get to spend with him?
Yeah, offset, were you able to like hang out? Like, I just wanted, whenever I see him, I just
He is the most feasible kid ever. He is so cute. He speaks multiple languages. He is whip smart. Every time we would work together, he would teach me things. Like he taught me Lego. I didn't know means play well or play good. But he knows everything. If you need to know something, if you need to pass a test, just tweet Raphael and say, what's the answer? But we didn't get to spend a lot of time offset, only because he is so young and he has school to do in between filming. But when we were on set, we would get to play and run around, and I'm not sure if people have seen some of the photos of Sean kind of tossing him around, or some of the cast, like you said, just squeezing like all the juice out of him because he's so squeezable. Yeah, I wish we had more time. And then he's a cool kid. I mean, he's working and doing school, and he's got friends, and he's got way more going on. I think I'd be lucky if he'd like call me to hang out after. Yeah, it's like me begging for him to hang with me, not the other way around. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
I know this question was already kind of asked. How did you react when you found out that Marion was actually dead and not like locked up somewhere?
When she was actually just like in like back in the. I mean, everyone's seen it, right? I'm not reading it for anyone.
Had like a shapeshifted or something into.
Yeah. It was kind of, I mean, I was confused because then I was going, oh, wait a minute, and I felt sad for her because I kind of thought she was this living person. So at first I think I mourned the fact that she was no longer, but the fact that I got to, even for the briefest second, yeah, to play Zelina and to imitate Rebecca Meeker, like, I mean, if you're gonna die and have to be someone else, like, is that really the worst way to go? I don't, yeah, so, yeah, it was sad to know that and she was kind of ill for a lot of it too. I mean, she was always laying on the couch, she was blue, she was frozen a lot. I think she needed to eat a few more vegetables. Yeah, she was, but I was sad to know she wasn't actually alive, but so excited that she was Lena.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
Hi, Kristen.
And my question is a hypothetical question. To say if you found out your character wasn't dead and you walked in on what Zelina was doing with Robin, how would your character react?
She would not have any hair anymore. I would have pulled that weave right out. That would be awful. Like, it's hard to even think of that right now without almost wanting to cry a little. I mean, I hope it was enjoyable, consensual. That's tough to think about, I guess. I had walked in on that scene, no, that's tough. Yeah, I think it would be. I think I would win, though. Like, she's strong, she's tough. I mean, we worked out together. That girl has biceps. She could take down if she needed to, but I don't know. You guys can ask her Sunday. You can just say, Christy thinks she would have won. And I'll be at home being like,
Hi, my name is Estrella. Star.
it's beautiful.
Thank you. I have two simple questions, right? How is work to Lana Parrilla and how is work to Constance Zimmer?
Two tough cookies. Super nice cookies, but tough cookies. Lana, one of the things that I loved is, I believe the first scene that Lana and I had together was in Granny's Diner. And I was really looking, I mean, and when I'm saying scenes where it was me and her really getting to connect and work off one another. And I remember that day I was prepared and I knew I was going into, and I, seen in small talks with Lana, but to work with her and to look into her eyes and kind of, acting sometimes becomes this game of tennis where you're just kind of bouncing off one another. She is one of the strongest actors, Constance as well, but that I've definitely ever worked with. She has so many different levels. As you guys can see, I mean, to play someone that's so evil for so long, but then the fan following just loves her, and she's done horrible things. She's murdered people and wiped out entire families and villages, and everyone's like, and that only comes, I think, from a really talented actress, because that just shows the humanity of the character, not just going out there and being like, she's evil, and that's all she is. She's a beautiful person on set and off. But yeah, working with her, it was pretty powerful. I was impressed. I loved it. It went by so quick because she is so professional and so good at what she does that they don't need many takes. And with Constance, she's really funny. So Constance Zimmerman, she also is on Entourage. What was her character?
Queen.
Yeah, I'm not sure if
Queen.
you've seen Entourage. She plays the kind of really tough female head executive of the network.
Female power.
Woman power. Yeah, I won't do I won't say the thing that's on the wrist.
She have a 3 words, but
Yeah.
there are kids here.
Yeah, Constance was phenomenal too. She was really funny and playful and had a good time on set. And you would be like, oh, this is my best gal pal, we're having a great day. And then you would go to say action and you were scared and you were like hiding behind something. She really empowers this strong, tough female that's not going to take anything from anyone. And then they call cut and then she's goofing around and playing with you again. So they're both just real people, like real great, talented women. Like you said, strong. And that's why I think everyone loves them so much, right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hello. Hi.
So Elizabeth Mitchell played with you in the episodes with Once Upon a Time. Did you get to know her? She seems like a pretty nice lady and everything, and I've seen her in Lost. And have you, I guess this is a 2-part question. Have you played in other programs, other shows with a lot of the other actors or any of the other actors that you've done work with from Once?
Ooh, from Once Upon a Time. Oh.
Just kind of curious.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. I'm trying to think, have I worked with anyone on other projects? I don't know that I have, just because so many of the actors on Once Upon a Time really have been on Once Upon a Time for so long that they haven't really gone to other projects that I've been on. Elizabeth Mitchell, though, she was so much fun. I hadn't seen Lost at all, but she is so sweet and so kind and soft, and she's one of those actresses that she kind of feels like your mom and your best friend all at once. And even when she's serving you the poisonous ice cream, I was just like, I will eat it. Please poison me. Yeah, she's lovely. I would love to work with her or anyone really on Once Upon a Time. I mean, everyone's fantastic. I'm trying to think because you kind of stumped me to think if I've worked with anyone, they're going to be like, we worked on this and you didn't remember. I don't think we have, but yeah, Elizabeth Mitchell was fantastic. Rebecca Mader and I, I guess we on the phone pretend, but not on TV or movies yet. No, I'd love to.
Okay, it was just because you have a lot of in-depth things with them and stuff, so it was interesting to know. Okay.
A lot of the, so on Once Upon a Time, for example, a lot of our time on set is downtime. So the scenes themselves, I mean, there's such a big and large cast. And the time that we come from, some of the hair and makeup is extremely elaborate, number one. So people will be called in a lot sooner than the time that they actually go on to do their scene. And that's kind of a really interesting time because that's when everyone gets to interact with one another and hang out and chat, whether it be in the lineup to get food or when you're getting your hair and makeup done next to each other. And when you have a set like Once Upon a Time where everyone is just really kind and lovely and open and nice, you just naturally strike up conversations with one another. And I think because everyone is so cool, real friendships are formed. And so even if it becomes a little Twitter chat or, hey, I just met a couple of guys and said, oh, we're meet at the con, and you've never even done an episode together, but it's easy to become fast friends.
How did you like Stevenson?
Oh, Steveson's beautiful. Has anyone gone out to Stevenson? Yeah? Oh, wow. Oh, a lot of people. That's cool. Stevenson, actually, my mom was born in Steveston. Yeah, so I didn't really spend too much time there as a child. I wasn't born there, but it kind of held a special place in my heart. I love my mom. And it's a beautiful fishing community just outside of the city of Vancouver, if you haven't been there. And they've taken this really great street, and like you've seen, they've transformed it into Storybrooke. And yeah, and people now, they all kind of come to that area, and also to people who live in the area just go and walk and take pictures and grab ice cream. And it's kind of a magical little area.
Just a few questions. So, what would you say your favorite scene to shoot was, and what was probably the hardest one for you?
Oh, I'm going to start with hardest, because I remember that one very well. Hardest and luckiest. I think I've only ever had one day that I was sick on set in my entire life. I was sick before I was supposed to film, and that was before a day of filming Arrow. I'm not sure if anyone here is an Arrow fan. Yeah. So I was super sick before, and actually one of the other actors had become sick, and so they canceled the day of shooting. And I was a little fish. I was the big fish, and so I would have gone and I would have toughed through, but I couldn't shut down filming for sure. And then Once Upon a Time was another one. Me, little fish, big show. I'm going to work. I don't care how sick I am, but you don't want to get other people sick. And it was one of the days that I was frozen. And I was lying on the couch all day with the flu, shivering, but no one could tell because my makeup was blue and I was sweating. And they were like, that's great, you're doing great sick acting, like dead frozen acting. I mean, so ill that when they, so after, I believe, we shot those scenes, they brought me into a separate part of the studio, and they had this machine that they got me to stand on, and they had, you kind of rotated on it, like a, what are those called, Lazy Susans in the middle of your table for dinner? And so they just kind of rotate you around, and you're supposed to stay really, really still, and they scan your entire body, and it was so that they could do the CGI stuff for all the Frozen. And when I was on it, I kept having to ask them to take breaks, because I was about to pass out on the machine and just fall over and faint. So, hardest day, but luckiest day, because I didn't have to talk or do much. And then, was it best? That episode was the best day, or the
Favorite shooting day?
favorite shooting day? Definitely. It was so teeny, but when I got to kind of play Zelina or Rebecca, I really, really loved what she did with the Wicked Witch, and she was so different than Marion, and she had so much excitement in her tone and her voice and what she got to do and what she got to play with. And not only so, the scene where I walk into the hospital and it's opposite Robert Carlyle, which was like, okay, that's cool to begin with. When I got to go in there and kind of say my little blurb as her, that was one of the most thrilling moments. It was something where I felt like, yes, I was still Marion, but I was getting to do something completely different. And with Robert Carlyle lying in bed. And then that's the day I also got to meet Rebecca and hang out with her all day. It was like just me and her in a hallway, and if she didn't want to become my friend, I was going to make her my friend, whether she liked it or not. Luckily, it worked out for me, and I got to be her friend. So, yeah, that one was fun. You're welcome.
Favorite episode and why?
Ooh, episode that I was in or episode of all time?
Episode of all time.
Ooh. I would say it's kind of like an entire, what would you call it, like a portion, because I had said for a long time one of my favorite Disney movies was Jasmine and Aladdin, that romance story. The magic carpets, and I remember every time people would say, because when I was on Once Upon a Time, they hadn't done Aladdin, and so people would ask, they said, well, what's the next movie that you want to see, or what do you want to see on there next? And that was always the one that I really wanted to see. So when I heard that they were going to do Aladdin, and they were going to bring Princess Jasmine on and have Aladdin there, and all Akbar, the genie, and all that. That was super cool. And then also too, because I was no longer on the show, I kind of really appreciated being able to sit back and watch it as a fan, and be able to just, you know, and I don't know if you know this, but we sit there even when we're not on the show, and we watch your tweets, and we see what you're tweeting people and what they're tweeting you back, and how people are reacting to it, because you just, if you're a part of the show or if you're watching it, you just fall so in love with it. Thank you.
Hi. Did Rebecca give you any tips on playing
On, what was that?
Zelina? Rebecca, did she give you any tips on playing?
She didn't.
Yeah.
No. So because, and not that she wouldn't have, she is the most generous person ever, and she definitely, if I called her and said, I don't know what to do, she would help me out. But when I found out that I was going to be Zelina, she had already known, but we didn't really know one another at that time. We had just met, gosh, I think it was about 2 weeks before we went to film that we had met outside of set. I mean, we hadn't even met on set. And so I imagine she would have read the script around the time that we were meeting. I didn't get it until a couple of days before we went to shoot. And yeah, our relationship, we just didn't know each other then, and I didn't have her phone number, so I would have had to go through Twitter, and everyone would have seen me. Christie's reaching out to Rebecca to ask for stuff, and then I would have definitely been in trouble. Being like, I'm going to play Zelina, how do I do this? But yeah, no, she didn't give me tips, but she's a fun one to play. Have you ever tried to play her? No? It's fun, you should try. You're very welcome. Yeah, no, Zelina was a really fun character to get to impersonate. I'm trying to think of who else. I think the only other character I would have ever wanted to impersonate is Diggle. Just for the muscles. Yeah, just to like strut around and be like, I'm gonna take care of that.
You ever sneak down to the cave and play with any of the vigilante weapons?
No.
Oh, come on.
So the cave, I mean, the cave now is sick. Like, the cave now is next level. I mean, when I started Arrow, it was the same thing. It was a new show. We really didn't know. We knew it was a comic book show, so we hoped it was going to be big, and we thought it was. But I was kind of strapped to the diner. I'm in diners a lot, to be honest. Yeah, I was always serving up the burgers, and I didn't get to go into that. I wanted to go into that layer so badly, but it was small. It was still kind of new at the time I was doing the show. And now, because don't they have like the Legends of Tomorrow? Like they have like 4 different shows in the lair, and yeah. Do they have other tech people too?
Other than
Felicity?
other than her.
Oh, see, yeah. I mean, the team has grown. Like they've expanded. I feel like
They kind of miss the Flash a lot of times too.
they've all grown up a lot.
They've all been blown up.
Oh, blown up. Oh, see, this stuff happens. You become a mom, and you don't have time for TV, and you don't know what's going on in all the universes. But they're okay, right? Oh.
Wait for the next.
When does that happen? Next summer? Next year? I don't know. It's so frustrating, isn't it, when you start watching a show and then you have to wait like a whole. I mean, oh my gosh! I forgot my show, Game of Thrones. Like, how am I forgetting that show? Like, it feels like to wait from one Sunday to the next Sunday for an episode, you're just sitting there. And then I thought about holding off. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna hold off on watching it, and then I'll have 3 in a row to watch. I made it to Tuesday. Right? I was like trying to avoid all social media, trying to not talk to friends, which I don't do anyway, because I just sit at home all day. But yeah, it's tough. And then they make you wait a whole season or 3 years, or with movies too, like the big trilogies, when you have to wait like 3 or 4 years to see it. It's like, and then you have to rewatch everything to get caught up again. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, and Once Upon a Time is the same way, right? Like it's a big break, and then there's the holiday break, and God, like what could Once Upon a Time crossover with? Like, what do you think? What's that?
There's not much out there for that.
Oh, that's what would make it so cool. I mean, Game of Thrones would be easy if Once Upon a Time and Game of Thrones crossed over. I think that would be too easy of a fit.
The Walking Dead.
Oh my gosh, Once Upon a Time zombie episode.
Why not?
I totally agree. Why not? Oh, the Avengers, did you say? Yeah. Star Wars. Well, they did. I don't know if I can't. Oh, there we go. Now I can see. Oh, hello. Star Wars would be great. I remember actually in. I think it was the first. Yeah, I think it was the first time. So the very first time I came on to Once Upon a Time, I was Marion, and it was me and Robin Hood in the woods, and I was pregnant, and I got sick, and then that was it. And I thought I was never going to be on the show again. And then when they did bring me back, the episode where I'm in the cave with Jennifer Morrison, they make a reference to Star Wars. What does she say? She says Leia, right? Yeah. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I liked that. So that's season 2. Yeah, Avengers would be tough. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that.
I wanted to ask you how is Oliver Queen to work with?
Oh, Stephen Amell. So cool. So nice. So muscular. It was really hard job because I was just between these 2 tall, handsome guys and then my little cute son. And he's very cool. He's so hardworking. I mean, even just the way that he has transformed, and not for reasons to be like a fitness model or anything like that, but to really be able to do what his character requires him to be able to do. So the things that he does in Arrow, he can actually do. Like, what do they call that? The ladder? The salmon ladder? Like, he can do that. And I don't know, I could do it, I guess, but that's a lot of work, right? Like, you have to train really hard and be really dedicated to the character and the craft and the fans, and he takes it all very seriously. Then he's kind of a kid off set and just wants to play and have fun and joke. And he loves, I'm not sure if you've seen into stuff, but he has a wine now. Yep. He's like a wine connoisseur. And and he throws these cool wine parties. And he's also a huge baseball fan. Like, he's just like a cool dude. Yeah, I think you'd love to hang with him and salmon ladder with him. And
are you gonna go back on Arrow?
Yeah, I'd love to. I never know. I feel like I'm always the last to know what I'm doing.
At least you're alive.
At least, yeah, I know, I'm still alive. Yeah, exactly. Okay, sorry, if I'm not the last to know, then I'm dead. Yeah, exactly. And they can always be brought back. There have been multiple shows that have been brought back.
You'll be the one to save them.
I'll be the one to save them. Because the zombie episode. Yes, here we go. Multiple crossovers, everyone's zombies, some people are alive. Christie gets to work forever. I would love to go back on Arrow. They have, the writers are amazing, the cast's super cool. Like you said, the crossovers I find really interesting too, how they're meshing all the different worlds, and it's really smart and interesting. I would absolutely love to, but you'll probably know before I will. Yeah, you can let me know. Okay?